you freeze whenever you're around somebody if you have nerves like that, or you get in a room full of people and all the ideas you had kind of like are gone all of a sudden. You walk to the studio, you had a million things you were gonna do, you get there, you can't remember a thing. Shit like that happens. It's not just because like you're really, really nervous or you want to be someone's best friend. It's just sometimes you just draw a blank. And for all the people out here who are, their advice is to say smoke weed, a lot of people like me who smoke a lot of weed, there's times you just draw a blank. You got too high, it wasn't the right weed. You get in the room, someone's like, hey, make a beat. All those ideas you had in the car, you can't think of them now. I'd always like to know what presets I really love in any synth that I'm working with. I have notes in my actual notes, like my sticky notes, that say what presets I like, what I use them for, where my favorite leads are, where my favorite pads are, whatever. I always have shit on call, favorites basically on call, so that if I'm in a situation and I know I want to use a lead, I know I want to use a pad, I know I want to use a bell sound, I know I want to use it, whatever, I can't ever be in a situation where I'm like, where do I go for a sound? There's so many. The same with drums, you know what I mean? The same with MIDI, same with chords. I have chords always, all different types.
Howdy doody buckaroonies, and welcome back to the feelings. What we're all after here with this discussion is a new definition of success. While I can't define that for you, I think what I've come down to after sitting on it for the last 29 years of my life is the feeling of fulfillment of your creative mind by way of your enjoyment of your own work and your own effort is the only thing that will let you sleep at night and learn to unplug at the end of the day. Like most mixing engineers will tell you, if it sounds good, it is good. If whatever you created is a true form of what you wanted to put out into the world and it represents what you wanted to make, then it's done and it's perfect. It's perfect. You are all singing, all dancing crap of the world. It's perfect. More simply put, you're not your Spotify or Instagram following. To make a pretty average wage of just $40,000 per year in the US, at the time of making this video, you'd need about 10 million streams every year, and an ever smaller and smaller sliver of pie to compete over from a pie that only really exists from those competing over it in the first place. I think part of the problem these days is that we don't really seem to openly discuss or be exactly told in the fine print of all the bullshit being sold to us that becoming one of these worthy few is pretty much next to impossible. 100,000 songs are uploaded every single day to streaming services. Every single day. There are over 80 million tracks on Spotify. Your chances of being heard are basically next to zero. With Spotify, it's estimated that nearly 80% of artists have less than 50 monthly listeners. On SoundCloud, there are only about 1,000 accounts that ever exceeded 250,000 followers, and the majority of these accounts belong to already massively successful major label artists and giant record labels. For artists trying to break above that noise floor against already astronomical odds, though, the next peak is even harder.